Hi everybody, this is Daniel with What Do We Have Here? And on tonight's episode rather, you can see I'm sitting out here in my vehicle. It's dark, it's raining, and it's cold. Now thankfully for me, I'm in my own driveway. But if I were on the side of the road and I needed help, today's item would be necessary. Now in the year 2025, if I needed help on the side of the roadway, I'd probably just use my cell phone, just like the rest of us would, to call for help. Maybe call for a friend to come out and provide me some assistance. Or maybe I run up on a motor vehicle accident and I needed help. I would use my cell phone. But let's back it up a little bit. Let's pretend the year is 1980. How would we call for help? Well, on today's episode of What Do We Have Here, we're talking about the CB radio. But specifically, we're talking about the General Electric Help Emergency Radio. Now, for most of you, you know that in the 1970s and 80s, CB radios were everything. Truckers had them. They were all over the big screen with movies like Smokey and the Bandit and Convoy. But today, they're not as popular. Now, yes, there are still some in use. And as I've been playing with this radio, I've been picking some up. But let's talk specifically about this product, because this one's not your typical radio that's installed in a vehicle and is used on an everyday basis. This one, of course, came in this very compact case, and it is a very compact unit. It's just a small plastic box that has a speaker in the bottom, and this would actually hear radio traffic or be able to transmit radio traffic very easily. It has two plugs on the bottom. One is your power source, which goes in your cigarette lighter, and the other is your antenna cord. And it comes with a very compact antenna that can easily be set on top of your vehicle. It folds up like this and extends out. Very easy to use. And it has been picking up some traffic. I was able to pick up some 18-wheelers out on the highway. So that tells me the CB radio is not dead yet. But back to this item, how does it work? You simply power it on, and by default, it turns on to channel 9. Now, the reason that's important is because channel 9 is the emergency station. So I'm driving along on a cold, dark stretch of highway, and I run up on a motor vehicle accident. Well, this is convenient because if I didn't know, this does it for me. It puts it on channel 9, and I'd be able to radio the highway patrol or necessary agencies to get some help out there. But this, just like any CB radio, it has more channels. It has 40 channels. And sometimes you're able to pick up some things, but the primary purpose, again, for this radio, here's some traffic there. It's mostly static, but I have heard some conversations. Now, this radio would have been very useful for the typical family that might take road trips, or somebody who maybe lived in a rural area and maybe they had car trouble on the side of the road. It could be hours before somebody came along. But General Electric introduced these and made several models in the 1970s and 80s. Eventually, they introduced a Help 2, which was very similar to this one. And even the earlier models of this one, they're all relatively the same with the exception of some small features. I picked this one up at a yard sale and couldn't resist. It's a very affordable item if you seek it out online or look it up. And could it still be useful today? Absolutely. In a grid down situation, or a situation where maybe you're in an area where cell phones don't work, the General Electric Help Radio might still have a use after all. So I want to hear from you. Are there times that you remember using one of these? Did your family own one? And if so, was it useful, or was it a product that didn't really live up to what it was promised to do? I would love to hear from you. Or maybe you just have some good CB stories in general. I love some stories from the trucker era. To me, it's a classic era that we'll never see again, and that's truly unfortunate, because I love the movies just like many of you do, and I love the stories. So feel free to chime in and share those with me. But I hope you've enjoyed learning about this unique product, and maybe we can have some more conversations about it. But for today's episode of What Do We Have Here, I hope you've enjoyed learning about the General Electric Help CB radio. And I encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to this video if it's been useful to you or if you found it interesting. And be sure to tune in to this channel for more episodes and more items on What Do We Have Here. Until next time, have a fantastic day.